Of course, as soon as I started the stream, I had to sneeze. Okay, so I did not get to trade yesterday. Had an event in the morning that I had to go be a part of. I had to go run some microphones and such for. But I am feeling a lot better. I know the last time I was trading a couple days ago, I was feeling super sick. But no more. I mean, sort of no more. I'm not feeling nearly as sick. I'm not coughing nearly as much. I got my voice back. Apparently I'm still sniffly and sneezing quite a bit. Fun stuff. So on the ES, I believe there's a downtrend with a close outside a new low, and now you have this uptrend here working higher. It's possible it's just a tad tighter there. In fact, I do think it's probably like this, but I don't think there's a close outside yet, or at least not a very convincing one. So looking for trades to go higher. Also wanted to mention a couple things. I did not meditate this morning. I woke up at like 4 a.m. last night and I was up for like an hour. Couldn't fall asleep, so I ended up like journaling and reading for a little bit. It might have, honestly, I might have been up for more than an hour. So whenever I got up this morning at 8, I set another, little 20-minute alarm and slept for an extra 20 minutes instead of meditating. Don't know if that was a good decision or a bad decision, but it's the one that I made. Also, today I'm going to be a little bit more fluid in the trades that I take. Usually I'm just trading max price action trading system, but I've been reviewing some of my old days, and I've noticed that I'm pretty often right in where prices are going to go. And there's some times on the chart whenever I'm really, really sure contextually where prices are going to go, but there's just not an entry. And then a lot of the entries that I do end up taking are in areas where I'm not fully contextually sure, but there is like a perfect pattern. So I'm wondering if I kind of am a little bit more flexible in the way that I enter trades and the way that I structure them. So that way I can enter whenever I'm really, really sure of the context. Maybe I could do well with that. So I'm going to play around with that for a little bit. And I'm fully expecting that, I might have some losers, and I probably will have some losers as I sort of figure things out, and maybe it won't work, but that's kind of the thing, you got to try things out to figure them out. So that's the point of being on a simulator. And yeah, so just wanted to mention that. So at least I know later on that it's within my plan, my trading plan, that I'm not just going off the wall. This is 100% in the plan, and I still might not take any trades today. I have to wait until I see something that I really, really like regardless. Always so much movement in the CL in the overnight. Uptrend breaking 2 legs to a new high, downtrend, break new low. At least it's pretty clear price action. Uptrend is not going to break a new high. Close outside new low, attempt at a new high. So not playing out to the upside. Finding some strong resistance there. Not finding anything at the overnight lows. So I could be looking for something to go short on the CL. Looking at the RTY, this trend doesn't really look right to me because of how prices sort of rocket off there and get that break a new high. And I don't want to start it in like a weird spot, so I'm just going to draw the overnight lows and the overnight highs and play this as if the uptrend is already played out, and now we're just congesting. I'm hopping over to my second monitor where I can mark up these same trends so that way I can see them all at once. And I was getting a little bit like kind of lazy in my reviews where I was like, God, this takes so long. I'm just going to start only commenting on when I'm about to take a trade or something. But like, man, it's like there's so much more to learn than just whenever I'm about to take a trade or something like that. I mean, seeing exactly, like, as I've gone through these review sheets, seeing exactly like kind of what I was thinking and in depth throughout has been super, super helpful. And so I've really been doing myself a disservice by, one, not really talking a bunch about what I'm thinking during the day, like during this live stream, but also, two, whenever I'm reviewing, being a little bit lazy in writing down, like taking note of everything on my trading sheets. I also just noticed on the CL, it's possible that this trend could just be tighter like this and already have a break. But Christ, I don't know why I sneeze so much in the mornings. But I'm going to look at it like this for now and see if prices hold. But I need to keep in mind that could be incorrect. Actually, just with the way that dropped down there, I think this probably is a correct trend though. So I would be looking for definitely some shorts on the CL. I'll take being sniffly and sneezy over coughing all the time and having my voice sound like shit. So yeah, okay. Also, another change that I wanted to make real quick. I want to put my second monitor back up on the screen. I know won't really be able to tell like what I'm doing on there or anything like that. But I want to put it up there so that way I can see later on whether I was digging off or not, like whether I was like going and surfing the web or whether I was like checking the comments or the chat or whatever. So I'm putting that up there so that way I can tell later on whether I was like fully focused or not. So that's there. And gonna go ahead and hide that, and shouldn't see the comments and shouldn't see that screen again for the entire time, but at least I'll know and I can take note of it later on. Just want to minimize as many distractions as possible. No coffee this morning. I was actually planning on drinking some, but I didn't make any, so I guess we'll not be having any. This trend looking like it might actually have been tighter, so could already just have the break a new low, but prices are struggling to come back to the EMA. I don't think this one fits really well right there, so I think we're looking for a break a new low on the CL. I don't think that it's smart to expand it out to that swing though. You kind of have to keep it there and say that there is now a break. That's probably the closeout side. It's not very convincing, but I'd say it probably is one. So it looks like we've moved to the break and new low on CL, so I'm not looking for anything there anymore. But if we do have a strong move up, then maybe I'd be looking to take some sort of long. Wouldn't be surprised if prices kind of come back within the overnight lows and overnight highs. This looked somewhat range-like up in here. Hard to say exactly, where that support was, but it was looking somewhat range-like with the sideways action. Something around here or whatever. So now that this trend has played out, if we do get a strong push above the EMA, could be something I'm interested in. It's a strong push up right there. So I'd say if we do get a strong push and close above the EMA, then I'll buy this for 1-to-1 with the stop down here at the lows. Like I said, I'm trying out trading a little bit more fluidly and just kind of determining things by my read of the price action and how I feel things are going, being a little bit more experimental on how I structure trades to see, if there's something there. And I'm not seeing a very strong close above the EMA right now. So as we touch that EMA, we trade it off. So I'm not looking to take that, at least for the time being. Got a little bump on my finger. I'm not sure if it's a bug bite or what it is. Kind of weird. Maybe it's a wart or pimple. I don't know. And prices did not continue up at all. They rejected off the EMA on the CL. So it wasn't that reversal that I was thinking could happen. If anything, there's more of this triple test right there. Let's see if we get any continued down action. Yep, we are making more lows. So that's a more convincing close outside compared to these two there. I do think that those two are a close outside. You could draw it like this. Seems like kind of a stretch. I don't really like the way that fits. I'm gonna pull it back. Definitely a more convincing closeout side and new low though for the downtrend. Tempted to take a higher low here if there is one. Looks like there's not one, but I don't think that I would take that anyway. Like, sure, it's a, like if there is a higher low, it's a decent probability that we trade back up to the EMA. But it's not like a surefire thing. I'd rather wait for the up movement to confirm that. If we do get any up movement, we could just continue down, of course. And there is a very strong push up there. So again,
order submitted.
You know, a nice close through the EMA would be possibly something I'm interested in there. So I do think this downtrend is played out now. So that was pretty strong. I'm going to drop my limit order back a little bit. Actually going to go up just a tad. So if we do get filled there, I'm going to look for that 1-to-1 up. So let's see if prices will come back and fill that. I don't really want to chase it, so just wait and see. I do think prices will probably continue to move up after downtrends played out, strong push above the EMA. Let's see if it'll come back right here. Just a couple ticks. Tempted to move it up a little bit. Looks like won't need to. So this is basically just a bet that prices are now going to start moving higher as opposed to lower. Will it be right? I don't know. But like I said, I do feel solid about this context being the downtrend playing out. You then get a strong push above the EMA and a good close above it, showing some strength. So I'm gonna take this for 1-to-1 with my stop down at the lows. If we do make a new low, then obviously I was wrong. So we will see what happens. Really no change in my heart rate or anything. You know, I'm very relaxed in this trade, to be honest. Now looking at the NQ and the ES. So I think this uptrend is probably going to want a break in new high. And I want to ideally see something like 2 legs back. That would be great. I don't really want to take this just with this one leg because I think the prices have a strong likelihood of testing the break and new low for this downtrend before they head higher. That's the same with the ES, though prices are moving higher on both of these. It says my lag is super high up here. I don't think it's true though. It could be, but I don't think so. On the RTY, I considered that this does look like 2 legs back, but it's a little less certain for me. I mean, to me, it looks like this short-term uptrend already has to break a new high. And these are 2 kind of weirdly imperfect legs. But it does look like a visual 2 legs back. And so what we might see is maybe a measured leg up after those 2 legs. It's a possibility. So what I really want to look at is the NQ. So prices are making the second leg back down here. So I want to see what's going to happen. Ideally, maybe you'd see a break and new low for that short-term downtrend. And then there could be a possible trade to go higher, looking for the break and new high for the uptrend. But I want to see how prices react down here. If you get any sort of rejection.
Order
Definitely
submitted.
liking the way this looks so far. I want to be ready just in case prices do find some buying here. Looks like we got out of the CL trade.
Order
so I'm going to go ahead and buy that. Same deal, basically. Take it for 1-to-1 looking for prices to hit that break a new high. So I put it one tick below the, or I hope it's one tick below. I always struggle to get these brackets right. It's at 25. Did I get that one right? Yeah, so let's put this down here at 50. So the reason I took this one, even before the signal bar, was because I saw that buying strength. So I wanted to go ahead and buy that, though this is a 2 legs back, and it's also a Pat's entry of a first entry, second entry, long, looking for a break and new high. So this is something that I probably would have taken even if I wasn't trading like I am now, sort of more experimentally. As far as the target goes, taking it 1 for 1, looking for the break and new high, and then putting the stop that equal amount down here. So let's see what's going to happen. Basically, the only difference is it just gives me a little bit more room in case prices do sort of break below that signal bar temporarily or something like that. So we will see whether that's a good decision or a bad one. But that's the point. Again, trading sim and seeing what works and what doesn't, and just trying to read the chart, basically. And looks like we would have been stopped out if I did take that second entry. Let's see if giving it a little bit more room will make any sort of difference here. Doesn't look like it. I believe this will probably stop me out here. Quite a bit of downward momentum. Came one tick from that stop right there. Looks like it'll probably push down and stop me out. It's weird that the this arrow just jumped and says that I entered on this bar, because I definitely entered way back here on this one. So it's not correct where it's putting that one. So that was outrageously close to stopping me out there. I believe that's one tick away. It could be two ticks. So we'll see. Maybe it'll go on up there. Maybe it'll stop me out. I don't know. Looks like this is one, kind of 2 measured legs down. Could have been something to consider to take it at the measured leg there. Finding some bullish strength there. The ES is similar, where there's a downtrend, close outside, and attempted a new low, but I like the way the NQ looked better than the ES. Price is definitely struggling up at these highs. You can see the overnight highs right here going to work. Price is really struggling to go higher, make that break a new high on the ES. And the NQ, again, coming very close to my stop. I believe it'll probably hit that there. Yep. So get stopped out there. Curious to see if prices are still going to hit that break a new high or not. Looks like prices are just going to continue down. This might be a range on the NQ, which is not what I was expecting. Looks like there's a good chance we'll test these highs on CL. So looking to see if there's some kind of entry to take that, to go long. Very strong down move. Extremely strong down move there. So making me think that maybe this short-term uptrend will not get a break a new high. Okay, extremely strong move down. This is why, and I considered just buying off the EMA or something like that. This is why I didn't want to do that. I want to wait for the down momentum to sort of dissipate in case something like this happens. Just looks like a range on the RTY. Nothing that I see that's super tradable there. Yes. I do think this uptrend is correct. Has a break, a couple attempts at a new high that run into this resistance. Now we're moving down, so this might not get a break a new high. Could end up being just a range day. I'll keep an eye out for that. NQ, trading on down here quite strongly. Definitely looks like a range day on this one. So I'll have to, whenever I study this later, decide, okay, is there anything that could have told me that this uptrend was not going to get a break a new high? Not sure. Right now it looked pretty convincing to me to look for the move higher after these two legs down off this support level. So it's kind of odd, but I might be looking for shorts now. Again, I'm not sure why my, what's it called? Trade markers are sort of moving around here. I think I might have to turn them off if it keeps doing that. On CL, you got this spike down. It kind of looks like there's two legs up. Prices are probably going to move towards this break a new low now, but it's not a high enough probability bet, in my opinion, to take that. After, let's say if prices do hit that break a new low, I'm not going to continue looking for a break a new high because this is such a strong move down through the EMA. Makes me think prices might not move up there. So more than anything, more than any other chart, I'm really looking at the NQ and the ES. This price has moved down here. Possible overshoot on NQ though. Could cause prices to snap back. I think the reason these are moving is because my lag is so high. If But I don't think my lag is actually that high. I'm not sure what's going on there. Watching to see if this becomes more of a clear overshoot, in which case there might be a trade opportunity to take prices back to the EMA. Again, a lot of this is experimental today. Just kind of trading what I see in the price action and going from there. I think if you draw everything in super tight though, then you could say that's not an overshoot. So have to sort of see. Flipping over to the ES, where it looks like there could be a trade to look for this break and new low and for prices to head lower. Right now you're moving up in a short-term uptrend. Looks like there's a close outside of that short-term uptrend. So if we do see a move up higher, possibly a break a new high for that, or a nice attempt, then I could be looking to take a short. I think this downtrend will most likely get a break a new low. To me, it looks like a range after the uptrend failed to play out. A strong move down.
Order submitted.
Right now it's looking congestive, so even if you did get a nice strong bar ending on its low, I don't think I can take that. Wouldn't even give me a very large bracket size for 1-to-1 to these lows. For example, if this closes lower down here. My bracket size is only that much. Chance of getting stopped out are high. Now if prices come back up here, and then I see a little bit of rejection, that's whenever I might consider this one. More than anything, I just want to see some rejection up there. I'd like to see it tick higher and then reject. So far, I haven't seen it. Looks like acceptance to me more than anything.
Order filled.
Let me go ahead and enter that. I think it needs to go there. Just realized I think I had the incur bracket on because that was a really big bracket there. But I do think that after these two legs up, I saw some rejection on that bar there. I think we'll probably move to the break a new low for this downtrend. Not sure if I have this quite in the right spot. Yeah, it looks like I do. So we'll see. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Again, I keep repeating it. Today's more experimental than anything. This feels like a pretty high probability contextual area to me. After two legs up, not quite measured, but it looks like 1, 2 legs up, looking for a break and new low, in what looks like a range that could head from the highs to the lows. So we will see. On the incur, it looks like this downtrend probably already has a close outside a new low. If we keep that tight, which I believe it is pretty tight, I think it already has a close outside a new low. Price is moving up higher. Looks like they might stop me out there. So I could have been wrong twice in what I was expecting prices to do context-wise. So here, I was expecting prices to retest these highs. I thought that was a pretty high probability occurrence. And then here, expecting prices to retest the lows of this downtrend. They might or might not do that. Looks like there could be another uptrend working higher here. On the NQ, again, I believe this downtrend has a close outside a new low coming off this overnight low. So there's the potential to look for a long soon, possibly. But this downtrend doesn't, like, even though this, I do think this is a close outside new low, it's not super convincing.
Stop filled. Order submitted.
That's pretty strong there. Pretty strong push up. So again,
Order
I'll
filled.
look to take this for the 1-to-1. See if I put this in the right place. And put this one tick below, which I think is there. And did get stopped out on the ES. So my thinking here again, I think the downtrend has played out. It's come off the support level. I think get a strong push above the EMA. It's very similar to that CL trade that I was looking at, or that I took earlier. So we'll see if I'm right or not. I'll make sure this is in the right spot. It's hard to tell this trend here. So that goes there. That's on 50. And it looks like this needs to come down just, oh, there it is. So we will see. Again, I think this downtrend most likely has a break a new low. Coming off these lows, a good chance that we move higher here. Looking at this at a 1-to-1 with the stop at these previous lows. We were stopped out on the ES. Which is interesting. I wonder if we'll still move to that break a new low or not. I think there might be another trend working higher. CL did end up moving up again. So the uptrend, 2 legs down, prices moved up again. But after this, such a strong down move here, down through the EMA, and retracing as much as it did, I didn't want to take a long. Maybe I should have considered something here, some sort of long around this area. Not sure. Something to look at later, decide. NQ is moving higher, but target is pretty far, so there's no telling whether we'll actually make it up there or not. Short-term uptrend already has a close outside a new high, so it's very possible that we just turn around. We'll have to see. This is, again, pretty far target there. And stop. On the ES, it kind of looks like prices are now trying to attempt this break in new high again for this uptrend. So that could be what this uptrend here is doing. Possibly. Then Q, prices are moving up pretty strongly, so definitely possible that we get out of this one here. On CL, prices have hit the close outside a new high. This looks like a pretty clear break, 2 legs down, and then break in 2 legs to a new high. So if we see some sort of strong push down, then I might be looking to take a short, potentially. Getting pretty close to this target here. I believe it'll probably push on up there if it gets that close. Probably makes sense to start choking up this sell stop now the price has moved so far. I'm not going to move it though. It's just something to consider, something to think about for later. I want to note that I have checked my P&L a couple times today. which generally I don't do and don't really like to do. Yeah, just wanted to note that for later whenever I review this. Generally, I like to just not pay any attention to it whatsoever. I think that's a better way of doing things. I don't want to be married to starting to feel like, okay, I need to make back any amount, but it doesn't really matter as much on sim as if I were live. I think it could really affect my emotions if I were live doing that.
Target filled.
We did get out of that incur trade. So now it's interesting, the two trades that have won for me today were after a trend playing out and a push above or below the EMA. Same with the CL. There might be another one on the CL as this uptrend is now played out, and this uptrend is also played out. So a strong close below the EMA could be another trade for me to take there. On the ES, prices have hit the close outside new high for this uptrend, so that has now played out. Another strong push through the EMA could be a possible trade. So I'm watching for that same thing on the CL, and same thing on the ES, but the ES has this secondary trend that I would probably want to wait for that to also play out before I look to take any shorts. I think it's interesting that the supposed sort of bread and butter trade for me, the one that I would think would be sort of the bread and butter, with the two legs back, looking for a break in new extreme, has not really, or hasn't worked for me twice today, which is kind of odd. Okay, that looks like exhaustion to the upside on the ES. Not quite two legs up there, but if we do see some selling momentum,
Order submitted.
then I might be looking to take this just back to the EMA.
Order filled.
So I'm going to take that and just going to do a 1-to-1 back to the EMA, or a little bit before it. Probably right there. It's good. And this one's a little bit more aggressive, but I feel like with this uptrend playing out, breaking out of these overnight highs, plus the overshoot of this secondary trend, and prices looking exhaustive, I think this could be a decent trade to take just back to the EMA. Going to raise that one. I don't want to expect too much out of prices. Again, today is just more experimental. I'm on sim, so just trying some things out, trying to read the price action, see if I can sort of structure trades based off my read of the price action and what I think is going to happen. As I sort of noted earlier today, that I felt like whenever I was reviewing the documents, that I was right in my read a lot of times, but there just wasn't a good setup. So being a little bit more loose in the setups, and again, just trying to sort of follow the price action there. Now I keep moving this target up a little bit because I don't want to push through the EMA. Rather, I want to just take it back to the EMA. So, if prices don't drop down and they keep sort of coming up here, I'm just going to keep raising that up and up and up and adjusting the stop as well as it goes. So taking that one higher and moving this one lower. Looks like we might be right here. Or I might be right here. I keep saying we, but it's just me. I don't know why I refer to myself as the royal we. Oops, not what I meant to do. Price is not quite dropping down how I would have hoped they would. Looks like we'll continue to adjust this stop and target. Most likely, I'm assuming this bar will still end a little bit high, in which case the EMA will be dragged up again. Move that one more. Let's see if we can get on down there. It's possible that prices find some support off this old resistance level, also off of the trend line. So two possible places. Definitely feels like a slightly more aggressive trade, but it's hard to say what's more aggressive and what's not, because the ones that I thought would have been the easiest trades have been my losers today. And double check that I have that in the right place. Looks like I do. Looks like we're going to continue moving this up here. So that's going to have to go 2 ticks this time. Again, just trying to get out before the EMA there, expecting that prices are probably going to come back to the EMA after the overshoot and exhaustive move right there. But don't want to ask too much out of prices. I'm not expecting them to push through the EMA. I'm just expecting them to come back to at least the EMA. So this is a kind of an interesting trade. I've never taken something like that, or at least I haven't, managed a trade like this before. So far, I think it's possible that you could. Let's go ahead and remove that real quick. Keep moving this. Looks like it might go ahead and stop me out there. Looks like this could just be bouncing off the trend. It could still be accurate right there as far as where the trend is, or it could still be intact. That's what I mean. In which case, maybe that's just the midline playing right there. It could be the case. Possible measured leg up in play that we could be looking for. And it looks like if I do drop this down, then I'm just going to go ahead and stop myself out. So I'll leave it there and get stopped out there, obviously. So it looks like I was incorrect in my read of this being a overshoot and exhaustive move. And again, I keep mentioning this. Today is more of an experimental type of day. Trying to see if there's something that I can find that sort of works with my read of the price action. Looks like a spike and channel up to me, but I'm not seeing how that's really going to fit there. So I'm not really understanding exactly what's going on the RTY, but again, possible measured leg up after these legs down. 2 legs, 1, 2. Kind of just getting some interesting action here. Can't really find what looks right as far as this uptrend goes, so nothing for me to play there. NQ, looks like there's 1, 2 legs back there. So uptrend, looks like 2 legs back. If we do
Order
see some
submitted.
buying, some buying momentum, I could be interested. Thinking that prices will probably continue higher for the close outside a new high of this trend here. Want to see where this measured move is. Looks like we've surpassed this measured move. But we could find some buying in this area. Interesting. A lot of follow-through selling. Yeah,
Order canceled.
can't do that. It's a lot of follow-through selling there past the measured move. So again, that's why I'm sort of looking for that rejection instead of just buying off a measured move or something, which I also have considered, but don't think is the best way of doing things. Redraw this trend here. Looks like it's probably nice and tight like that. I suppose that's not an overshoot, with prices coming back and playing off this again, though they are going lower now. Don't think I would want to take anything to the short side just because of this trend possibly still getting a break in new high. Not everything's played out to the upside. Now the CL, everything has played out to the upside. Looks like prices might be working towards this measured move up for the 2 legs up. I was expecting maybe to have a short as prices closed below the EMA, but they didn't. They ended up holding the EMA and going a little bit higher. But if we do get a strong sell
Order submitted.
through the EMA, strong close that is, then maybe there could be something there. I do believe everything's played out to the upside. It's probably just this being a first leg and then this being a second leg up. Okay, that's a very strong sell-off.
Order filled.
Extremely strong sell-off. Might just go ahead down to my target pretty quickly. So to me it looks like uptrend, 2 legs down, then you get the break and new high for this uptrend, and that secondary uptrend has a break and 2 legs to a new high of its own. So uptrend break 1, 2 legs right there. That's my thought, at least. We will see if that is correct or not. wouldn't want to take a long and I wouldn't want to take a short here. Reason being that I think the prices might move up to test this breaking new high for this uptrend, but also they could fade the overnight extremes and come back within this, not really range, but just come back within the overnight extremes. The incur, this never got to break a new high. Kind of interesting. Not entirely sure what's going on. Downtrend, break a new low. Strong move up. It's more than anything just range-like action. Have to continue to watch and see. The CL, of course. I think that everything's played out to the upside. Then you get the strong push below the EMA. So that's why I took this trade. Making sure that's in the right spot. Thinking that we might get a second leg down here. Maybe get me out there. RTY makes very little sense to me. Don't exactly understand it. I think uptrend breaking new high, 2 legs down, 1, 2 legs up, triple test. Then it kind of gets confusing. Kind of gets hard for me to tell exactly what's going on after that. It could be a trend like this working higher. Possibly. Looks like this trend might have been correct here, where it now has a close outside a new high. Let's take a look at the ES, where prices look like they're attempting to go for this break a new high here, which I thought might happen, but I wasn't exactly sure about. The CL is moving against my position currently. So the strong leg down, price is reversing also pretty strongly. So maybe this is an exhaustive move down, which at the time I was considering that it could have been exhaustive. But we'll see. definitely noticing that I'm a little bit more attached to this position for some reason. All the other ones I wasn't super attached. I think the reason could be that so far all of the ones that have been like a close below the EMA, so this one with the close above the EMA, this one with the close above the EMA, and then now this one again with the string playing out and the close below the EMA. Each one of those has worked so far, so I think that I might be sort of married to this idea and hoping that this idea works. Because it's worked twice, so maybe that's why I'm feeling a little bit more attached to this position than I was the past ones. Price is moving up super strongly on that CL though, so I'm assuming they're just going to go ahead and move up and stop me out there, most likely. That's what it looks like. Sure as heck closer to the stop than it is the target, that's for sure. Now I'm looking for a strong push below the EMA on the ES, so you can see this uptrend close outside, attempted a new high, creates that double top. Now if we do get a strong close below, it's a good chance I'll be looking to take that. I'd ideally see the uptrend get a break a new high though. The RTY, looking like we might get exactly that, the uptrend having played out. Looking for maybe a strong close below the EMA there. Looks like on the incur you have this uptrend, and then if you kind of ignore this leg, then it looks like 1, 2 legs down and 1, 2 legs that are working their way towards a close outside a new high for this uptrend. It's pretty interesting. I'm wondering why this leg is here. It seems kind of out of place if this is your 2 legs down. It's kind of odd. The ES has hit its break and new high, so if we do get a strong move down below the EMA, then I'd probably be interested in taking that. The CL has sort of turned around here, so it's possible that we do get out of this one after all. Here we are again. I'm saying we, not sure why. RTY, looking for that same thing. So a few possible entries here. Makes sense to me to see some sort of reversal on pretty much all these charts. reversal on the RTY after this uptrend played out. ES as well. So just watching for all of those right now. The incur, before I look for anything, I'd like to see that break a new high for that uptrend. I believe we're getting pretty close to getting out of this CL trade. Getting a very strong move down there. So let's see if I can go ahead and move on down. I believe if you look at the measured move, probably doesn't take you all the way down there. Yep, so we would have hit that measured move already. It wouldn't take you all the way down. Taken off the order, so see, maybe it gets out there, maybe it doesn't. So far, these letting the trend play out and then a strong move through the EMA trades have worked well for me today. So well, we'll see if this one, works out. But if this one wins, then that'll be 3 of those types of trades winning today, which is kind of crazy. See if I can go ahead and tick on through here. Of course, I'd like it to.
Target filled.
There we go. Well, didn't tick through, but did get me out on the touch. So it means it'll probably tick through soon. Yes, continuing to move higher. Might even hit this break a new high here. So uptrend, 2 legs down, and this could be 2 legs up here as well. So a couple possible measured moves in play. And this one here, I've been looking for this possible measured move as well. That there. Really exploding up higher on the NQ and the ES. Looks like 2 measured legs up, basically. Coming up to these overnight highs. Absolutely slammed past that other measured move. It's interesting. slamming past that measured move on the ES as well. Definitely need to look for possible larger trends up. Something like that. That might actually be a spike in channel. Maybe not. Let's put this here for now. So definitely not really looking for any shorts on the ES anymore with this possible larger trend in. Price is smashing through those measured moves. In Q, I could still be looking for a strong push below the EMA. CL, nothing really. After this 2 legs down, everything sort of played out. Waiting for some sort of clearer structure now. RTY, I would still look for some sort of close below the EMA. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I want to flip over to the NQ where there's a possible strong close below the EMA forming. In one hand, also looks like 2 legs back here. So there's a possible failed second entry as maybe some traders take a long here, get trapped.
Order submitted.
Wanting to see a strong push below the EMA here in order to take a trade. Don't know why my lag is still so high. It's crazy. Oh, it's coming down. Look at that. Now that I said something. Got like significantly better. It's very odd. It's all over the place. I don't think it's correct, to be honest. I'm gonna hop over actually real quick and take a do a ping test. Ping test. It's like 40 milliseconds on that one. Let's try this one.
Order canceled.
It says my ping is 6 milliseconds on this speed test, so I don't think that this is right. It's probably just all over the place for whatever reason. Gonna go make a cup of tea. I'll be right back. And we're back. Looks like everything's played out to the upside on the ES, except for maybe this larger trend. Could be correct, could not be. In Q, similarly, this could be something a little wider here. More than anything, it just looks like a shorter term trend that has a break a new high to me. So might still be looking for a close below there. CL, nothing I'm really interested in. RTY, I'm starting to think more and more that this could just be a spike in channel. Not sure. Not sure. Could be something like that. Not a very convincing close outside in a new extreme. NQ though, if we do get a strong push below the EMA, good chance I be willing to take that. Gonna take a minute for my tea to cool down now. Should throw some ice cubes in there. About 1 hour left. Not too bad. Taking a lot more trades than I normally would, but it's expected. You know, it's being a little bit, like I keep saying, a little bit more experimental today. So totally it's expected. Now that prices are continuing to move up, it's definitely possible that something like this is in play. Throw that on there and let's see. On the RTY, let's adjust this spike and channel here. That could still be in play as well. On the ES, it's tempting to say, okay, this uptrend here has a close outside and 2 clear legs to a new high. So if you do get a close below, maybe that's something to consider. But the thing is, you might be in this major uptrend and you could just still continue higher because of that, even if this inner uptrend has played out. I wonder what was going on with my lag earlier, because now it's just so normal. I mean, it's super, super low, so it's super strange that it was doing that. Not sure what was going on. I think it's kind of crazy that YouTube will let me stream with like nobody watching and literally store hundreds of gigabytes worth of videos for me. It's just kind of wild. Like they're not getting hardly anything out of that. And yet, like on the back end, they have to store just hundreds of gigabytes worth of data. I don't know how much that costs them, but it's probably only a few dollars to store that for me. But still, I mean, you know, if there's a bunch of people like me out there doing that, it's kind of crazy. First part of the day went by pretty quickly. Now it's really dragging by. Partially, probably, or mostly because there's probably nothing really setting up. So there's no real excitement going on. Whereas before I was taking quite a few trades. Now there's kind of nothing to take. And there we go. Moving on up through that measured move. Not really reacting off that at all. I'm real tired behind my eyes. I wish my tea would cool down already. Seeing what this is, getting ready for graduation. It's crazy, it's been a whole year since I graduated from college. Before I know it, it'll be 2 years, and 5 years, and 10 years, and more. Alright, I will check out the stream, I'll see. Anybody said anything? Nope. Not too many people watching either. Not too much watch time. It is okay. Just thought I'd check it out, since there's nothing really going on. Just an uptrend, working on higher. Oh, I gotta be careful not to fall asleep in my chair here. As I mentioned, this is a possibility if prices close strongly below the EMA here after this uptrend has played out. But the thing is, it looks like there's this larger uptrend in play, so I'm not really looking to take a short right now, even though the shorter term stuff kind of makes sense. There's a good chance that the NQ continues to move higher for the break and new high of this trend. But it's looking kind of weak with prices failing to reach this side. It just doesn't look super strong to me, so I'm not willing to take a trade off of that. RTY is pretty similar setup to me. CL continuing to sort of chop around. So it made sense to me where prices were going here after this trend played out. The strong move down, it kind of made sense that you would maybe get a second one, but now you're just kind of trading in. You can see the making higher highs and sort of, or higher lows and sort of lower highs, wedge-like manner. I'm waiting for something a little bit more obvious. Though maybe I could have considered taking a short after these, like what looks like two legs up and then the push below the EMA, something like that. It's definitely a possibility. Not sure though. Looking at the CL now, there's kind of two possibilities. Possibility one, you move up, you break this, and you go to a break new low, maybe a second leg down. Possibility two, this is actually just a range, and you're going to bounce off of the lows somewhere. So two possibilities there. Lows could be here as well. Just adding some more structure to this chart. Just going to remove that. Draw this as a larger range because I think the midline would fit pretty well. Fits pretty well in, oops, fits pretty well up in here. So draw that, maybe that's correct. Then we'll draw some support and resistance lines in the areas that could be there, could be correct there. In Q, there's a second entry long. It could be a decent trade to look for the highs there. Like I said, it's looking pretty weak to me though, so I'm not looking for that one. Not seeing anything. Looks to me like this has a break a new low, and maybe you're finding support off of either one of these levels, you know, like I was mentioning earlier. Could be there. I think the spiking channel might have a, or might be looking for a break a new high. It's almost a perfect, you know, measured move up there. Not that it means too much. So now on CL, now this downtrend is played out and you're coming down to a support zone. So again, I don't know if it's a true support level. But now that you're coming down to this like kind of zone, clearly see there's been buying in here. Something like that. If you do get a strong push up, it could be a possibility to take a long. NQ is moving up towards its high. Looks like you kind of have a range type of area there. So if this hits a break a new high and you get a strong push down, I'll probably be interested in taking some shorts. RTY similarly, if you get that, followed by that, then I will enter down. About half an hour left. Flip back to the CL here. Price is just continuing to move down there. So not finding any support like I thought they might. Could be wider. To the downside. No. Okay. Getting a little bit uneventful. Played out, ranging. Probably headed back to this trend line to see what's going to happen. In Q, played out. If we get a strong push below the EMA, I might be interested. It's kind of that support level though. Keep an eye on that. Could be this larger downtrend here. Looks like it has a close outside, headed to a new low. Just went right through that support level that I was looking at as a possibility. So might head down to this one here. RTY's got a little short-term downtrend going lower. It's really just the NQ that I'm interested in currently. Oh, and look at that. There it goes. You might get that close below.
Order submitted.
It's got to be kind of strong though. Yeah, I'm going to take that.
Order filled.
Might have to adjust this a little bit. So it wasn't necessarily closed below, but it looked like it was getting kind of strong there. It might not even close below actually, so maybe I should have waited a little longer. We'll see. 0.5, 0. Take that down to 0.5. Okay, so yeah, it did close below. Thinking we'll probably head on down. Might have some trouble at that support level, but we'll see. Oh, the reason I'm taking this one, I believe this uptrend has played out. Wouldn't be surprised if we fade this overnight high level. Price is looking pretty weak. Closed below the EMA. Was looking pretty strong to the downside. 1-to-1. Expecting that prices will head down here before they make a new high, basically. So we'll see. Possible this could be wider. Hesitant to keep dragging that out, but I'm gonna at least take a look at that because this doesn't really look like a break to me right there. Definitely could be, but it just doesn't really feel like a break. It doesn't feel like a momentum change. This kind of feels like just one smooth move down. Getting that follow through down momentum on the NQ. See if we're able to continue down. Like I said, there is a bit of support here, so it's possible that we don't make it through there. But we'll see. It's always hard to tell. Like, is that a tick higher? Yeah, it is a tick higher. Because it looks like whenever you zoom out, it looks like it's right on the high right there. See? Like you just can't even tell that's a tick higher in Qs. Crazy. So many little ticks. I think if this one wins, I'll probably just go ahead and hang it up for the day and call it. I've got something to do this afternoon, so I wouldn't mind having a few more minutes to go load up and get ready for the day. Pretty relaxed in this trade as well. Haven't noticed really any change in my heart rate or anything of that matter. Part of that is probably the fact that it's going in my direction. If it was going against me, I'd probably be feeling a little bit differently. That's generally how it goes. There's no guarantee that it works out though, even if you are getting somewhat close to my exit. Possible trade on CL. So if this is tighter like this, then you could say, okay, that's played out and you're getting a strong move up. So this is definitely a possible long to take. I'm not going to take it. I'm not sure if this downtrend is played out, but it's looking pretty convincing as far as how strong that move up was, coming off this close to this support zone. And it's kind of odd to drag this out in that way. So if you do keep it tighter, where that has played out, that's definitely a very convincing trade to take long. Take it somewhere around there. Main reason I'm not going to take it, one, I'm already in a trade. Two, I'm looking to head out soon. But wanted to point that out there. Neither one of those is probably a particularly good reason. And then the secondary reason, of course, is that I'm unsure if this downtrend is played out. But man, it looks like this one's just going to go ahead and rocket on up there. Let's see if we can go ahead and move on down here. Would not mind getting out of here a little early. I'm glad that I grabbed this tea. I feel a lot more awake than I did earlier, even if it's only tea instead of coffee, not quite as strong. All right, getting real close. Come on down.
Target filled.
And there we are. All right. So just to sort of recap for a sec, whenever I tried to take two legs back, so I tried to take the two legs back here, this one lost. I tried to take an overshoot here, it's back to the EMA, and this one lost. I tried to take two legs back here and that lost. I took one as a close above the EMA after a trend played out, that won. Another close below the EMA after a trend played out, that won. Close above the EMA after a trend played out, that one won. Close below the EMA after a trend played out, that one also won. So today, like I keep saying, was pretty experimental, but there's definitely something promising in after a trend plays out and seeing a strong close above or a strong move above or below the EMA. So that's something I definitely want to keep an eye on, and I might continue to sort of hone. But I'll have to I look forward to studying this later, and we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys tomorrow.